Okay, I was just thinking, my aunt just sent me an email and she asked me a question in regards to why I joined the Occupy movement, and I thought that would make a good video. Um, well, I think I mentioned in one of the other videos I made that I used to go by them on the bus and hear people make comments and stuff. They started in October here in LA, but I didn't get with them until the first event I went to was on March 17th. And I guess my reasons for getting with them was, A, I saw how people were treating them, and it upset me because, like my aunt said, everybody has a right to the peaceful protest. And when I saw people making comments, when I've heard the same comments that they made in the 60s about the hippies, oh, they all stink and all that stuff, and they're just a bunch of hippies, and I understand where people get that. People often refer to us as hippies because they associate us with the 60s movement. Well, there are similarities, because the hippies did fight for a lot of the same rights that we are fighting. We don't consider ourselves hippies. Not that we have a problem with hippies, it's just that we feel that this is a different time and different circumstances. Even though, like I said, we are fighting some of the same things. I joined because, like I said, because of that, but also because I live on 900 and some bucks a month, and it's not enough, because the cost of living out here in California is a lot higher. Now, if I lived back east, yeah, that'd probably be a lot because, housing's cheaper and all that, but if you're back east, they only give you like 500 and some anyway, so my point would be mute anyway, but, or moot, or whatever to call it. But yeah, I was one of the ones who told everybody, please vote for Obama, he's going to bring change. He's going to be the first black president, let's vote for Obama, and then I saw that nothing was being done. I gave him a year or so because I thought, okay, Bush really did mess it up and it's going to take a little bit of time. But then, as time has went on and I start seeing him passing the NDAA and, which basically gives him the right, or anybody in the government, the right to take someone off the street and hold him indefinitely for some trumped up charge, all under the banner of terrorism. We must protect the people from terrorists, and these Occupy movements are anti-government, and therefore they're not patriotic, and they're a threat to our country. And we are very patriotic. That's the reason we're doing it, because we do love our country so much that we want results. We don't. We're heading for disaster, people. Even our scientists are starting to say we are heading for disaster. Whether you believe in that it's man-made or government-made or however you think it is, we are heading for a big disaster. And I'll use this for a little bit. The Mayans did prophesy, and I know people was going to say, well, but they did, and they were accurate on a lot of stuff, so we can't totally dismiss the fact that their calendar ends in 2012. Now, does that mean we're all going to die? I don't believe that necessarily. I think people will survive, but I do think it's a warning. And I do think that, if you believe in the Bible talks about Revelations. Talks about the end times. So we are heading for a disaster. Now whether you believe we can change it, that's up to you. I leave that for people, to debate on. But like I said, we're heading for a major disaster. Our government lies about oil spills. They cover it up. They're getting ready to go to Alaska. And all these things are mounting. And the more I've watched, the more I've got involved. And then when I went March 17th, I was just kind of getting a feel for it, you know, and see. And when I watched cops basically harassed for no reason, I mean, they were honest the minute we got there. You know, this wasn't, oh, you know, we did something and they all showed up. No. It was a rainy day, and we were just hanging out, you know, and doing our thing to celebrate spring. You know, we were celebrating March 17th, you know, St. Patty's Day, you know, and just having a good time. And the police came out and, you know, came right up on us. It was like, you can't put flags in the... It's a flag. You know, people want to call us unpatriotic. We were putting American flags in the thing. And the police came along and said, no, you can't put flags there. It was the police who was unpatriotic. You know, telling us to remove the flags. Then they said, oh, you can't have your tents up, which it was just like a welcome tent, is all it was. And they told us to take it down, which we did, but we're kind of like, you know what, it's a rainy day. For any homeless person, you know, they're allowed to keep it up because of immaculate weather, but because we were occupiers, you know, and they followed us around the whole time, and because somebody went and got a drink of water, that's all it was. They got him for trespassing and arrested him. Now, keep in mind, it's just trespassing. Okay, a simple verbal warning, okay? You know, don't do that, you know. This is private property. Please don't do that, you know. Okay. But they, you know, it wasn't about us, you know. It was some trumped up charge. And then they say chalking on sidewalk. But let me get back to that, because it's like, these are some of the things that is the reason I joined the Occupy movement. Because I'm living on $900 some bucks a month. I'm barely able to get by. You know, and at the end of the month I'm without. You know, and they keep refusing to give us a stimulus payment every year. You know. And I've seen how the government has corrupted. They, you know, for one, we should have universal health care. We shouldn't have to, you know, pay anything. You know, first of all, we should have the same rights as the Canadians and the people in Europe have. You know, you go into a hospital, boom. You go get a drug, boom. Everything's covered. You don't pay a thing. Now, that's key, because that's what we need. That would eliminate a lot of our problems right there. Okay, because I'm having to get referrals to go to a freaking doctor to get help with my heart. You know, because it's not really a heart problem. It is and it isn't. Because pH is high blood pressure in the lungs, like I explained in my videos, and the pressures are so high that that's what makes it affect your heart. It's actually a lung disorder. But because your vessels go to your heart, then it enlarges your heart or causes your heart to have problems, which is the irregular heartbeat, the fast heart rates, things like that. So until I go see my pH specialist, you know, and I'm having to wait on a referral, and I've been waiting for a year. So these are the things I'm noticing. I'll probably make a part 2, so just hold on.